All right, prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Medias, and I'm gonna do my recap or binge review. Spoiler alert for Jessica Jones season 3. Now, I had this all recorded out before, and it turns out that the camera angle, or not the camera angle, the sound was bad. I'm thinking about camera angles because I had to do that real fast. The sound was bad, and it was like a lot of feedback on it. So now I'm forced to do it all over again. Now let me quickly go into what was going on. It immediately takes place right after season 2. If you just watch the recap, if you're not a fan of Jessica Jones, if you didn't watch season 2 after watching season 1 or a little bit of season 1, watch season 3. Trust me, and that recap should be enough. When you hit that recap button for Netflix, it should be enough. Now. And it goes right into after this the issues with between Jessica Jones and her superpower mother, who's gone crazy. She's a murderer and all that with good stuff. Trying to talk her down. She seems like she wants to be a good person again. Jessica Jones was trying to get her to do the right thing, but at the last minute, Hellcat and Patsy. Rachel Taylor had to step in and do what needed to be done and shot that bitch in the head and killed her. Because it's like, and so the funny thing about this whole season was how it started off. Like Jessica Jones is pissed at Patsy for doing what needed to be done and whatnot, but at the same time, like, you didn't know that. You didn't know if Jessica was going to talk her down and get her to turn herself in and stop. You just didn't take the chance and just shot her, which I understand. Cops do it all the time. Like, he was coming right at me, But Jessica has a right to be pissed because before the accident, before the enhancement and stuff, she was a normal, was a mom. That's her mom, dude. And she would always be her mother. And then I like the way how that whole issue with Patsy's mom, played by, was it Rebecca De Mornay? I gotta get on that a little bit later too. How that blossomed, and you got to love and appreciate and see. They redeemed the Rebecca De Mornay character a lot more. She was very tough and very hard on Patsy and whatnot, but you learned why, and I think they did a good job in making her a very likable, lovable character in the end. And then, ironically, when the same thing happened when our villain right here was able to ambush and kill Rebecca De Mornay, the character Patsy's mom. It was messed up, and then and to have her Patsy be on that I blame you situation was such a reversal. I killed your mother, you technically got my mother killed, situation, and it was very ironic how the tables turned, and everything that happened with Hogarth defending the serial killer Salinger's defense attorney, because she's trying to save face and not look like she's covering up for superpowered people. But she does it. She goes too hard and too all in on it. Danny Rand, it's mentioned that he drops her as a client, and as she's declining, she's dying as well. So she reaches out to a former lover of hers who's married and figures out how to break them up off of that marriage and save her from a husband who is just doing despicable things in the name of their dead daughter. But everybody, it's just the fact that you go too far. I mean, and it was such a shitty relationship, and it's a downward spiral for everybody. And it was done so well. The emotional torment that everybody was going through on this one, it felt like that they really put some work. I didn't think that a Jessica Jones season 3 would even happen. I was happy for it, and I was like, okay, how is this going to end it all off? And it felt like it felt like a quiet, like drift off into sleep. And we're putting this all to bed, and who knows if we'll wake this thing up again on Disney Plus or in the future somewhere else. And I hope so. But it seemed like this was a good way to kind of quietly exit the way they did it and pulled it off. But as far as a Jessica Jones standalone, Jessica Jones, this season almost rivals season one. I love season one, and that dealt more with mind control and rape situations. This is also about self control. This was about self control. Salinger was about self control, discipline, and mind games, and feeling inferior compared to the cheaters, is what he called them, superpowered people, right? But you're doing this to a vulnerable superpower person. I mean, Jessica Jones is killable. I mean, you shoot her, she's dead. She's not bulletproof like Luke Cage. Now, the funny thing about it is, Salinger would never have gone after Luke Cage. Never. Probably wouldn't even have gone after Daredevil. You could never sneak up on him and all that stuff. Never. And an Iron Fist is unbeatable. But Salinger thought that it was funny to go after a super strong girl who doesn't hide her stuff, but doesn't advertise it either. Like, I like the way she says it. I don't hide, but I don't advertise. Who can be killed by, in the normal ways, knives, bullets, things like that. Which makes him a hypocrite. Because if you really felt like you were so damn superior, you'd go after the big dog. You ain't going after like Iron Man or Captain America, who was for the first time finally not the flag waver mentioned in this one. I thought that was good. Salinger goes after a character whose kryptonite is the same as everybody else's kryptonite. She just happens to be strong and happens to be powered like that, but she is very much vulnerable the same way normal people are vulnerable. So she goes after her to try to make himself feel big. If he really had something to prove, he'd have gone after. He would have gone after. Go after an Avenger. Go after. Go after the Wasp. Go after the Black Widow, Scarlet Witch. Go after them. See how that works out for you. No, you're not gonna do that. Those girls are too good. They ain't too much. I gotta make my point. I gotta go after Jessica Jones because I can go pang pang or stab and like, see, I'm better than a super. That's what I was like, dude. I'm not saying Jessica Jones was weak. Obviously not. She came back and whooped his ass and got him and outsmarted him too. But that was what I liked about this season. She didn't have to he went for what he perceived to be a weak enough super that he could handle. He felt like he could just outsmart her, and the penny's mightier than the sword situation. Like, she's vulnerable enough where I can get to her and then kill her easily, the way I can kill other people. And he was so superior in his intellect, thinking that he was better than everybody. But what happened? He got outplayed and outsmarted by alcoholic. That was so beautiful. It was so funny. I loved it. I will watch this season again. Now, as far as what happened later on with the whole thing between him and Patsy. Now, Patsy, he was brilliant in the way that he did what like the Joker kind of did in The Dark Knight. He was able to make someone good, make her fall, and prove that she was so Patsy, instead of being the Hellcat from the comic book, an Avenger or a hero, I guess, she became a villain, man. That was one of the things I didn't see coming. I didn't like, really, because I was starting to finally like the Patsy Trish's character, and how she was, because she had this whole complex, and I guess it was evident ever since season one of needing to be a hero and whatnot, and it all came crashing down, and I was thinking that was disappointing, because I wanted to see what she could do a little bit more than what they gave us, but they got her into that costume, that cat costume and whatnot. They named one of the episodes Hellcat, but they never really called her Hellcat. She can see in the dark, scratch the hell out of you. She got some strong legs, and she can jump off of a building and just land on her feet. But that was about it. Other than that, she was very vulnerable too. So Salinger had his hands full, but he could handle it. But at the end, they were outplayed. Um, the way it broke down with the other supporting characters, such as Ika Darvel, what was his character? Ika Darvel. Let's see, best known as. Oh shit! I forgot he was a Power Ranger. Well, Malcolm. So he with him being a former addict, based thanks to Kilgrave, and then trying to turn his life around by joining the Holgar team and being a private eye for her, and then throwing it all away because I guess he still it's his whole self-loathing thing, guilt and whatnot. Throwing a good relationship away from a girl who was kind of pushing him a little bit too much to be something he wasn't, but at the same time he wasn't being honest. And then, but going into the arms of another person who was just as damaged as he was. I didn't like too much, but at the same time I got comfortable with it pretty fast. I was like, it's a fit, because a guy like that could fit anywhere. I mean, if he wants to better himself, he could be with the lawyer girl. He wants to be with people who can empathize with the pain and stuff that he's gone through. Former prostitute that's trying to turn her life around too. Guy like that could go either way, but it seems like he flipped the coin and he chose to, you know what, I'd rather be in a more comfortable, more open and honest relationship where, hey, we're both not perfect, we both have a messed up past. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be able to talk about these things with somebody easily versus being with somebody who I feel will be kind of judging me about it all the damn time and just constantly bickering at each other. So he probably chose the right thing to stay sane up here, but who knows? Who knows what would happen with that? We guess we won't find out. Mike Coulter coming back as Luke Cage was a big shock to me. Honestly, I felt like based on with everything that was going on a legal situation, because in the past, whenever we had those cameos, you would have a mission, at least one mission where they would team up, right? And we didn't get that. We got Luke Cage back, and that made sense because this is where Luke Cage started, was in Jessica Jones. But I feel that it would have made more sense if Matt Murdock would have, because he could have helped represented her in the legal. I feel like Matt Murdock could have talked Patsy down, could have tried to appeal to Patsy and saved her before she went too far. That whole chaining her up thing and trying to talk to her, I feel like Matt Murdock could have stopped her and kept her at bay. But I guess now we'll never know. Hopefully, let me know what you guys think, and tell me, do you think we should get these characters, these same actors, and these stories to continue on Disney Plus, and hopefully that these original stories can continue out that or on Hulu or whatever, since Netflix is acting like little babies about Disney Plus coming out? Well, then I'm just gonna pull the contract. I don't care if it's one of the most popular shows on our thing. We're not gonna. Okay, well then Disney, come on, get it back. Let Disney get their stuff back. I like the Salinger villain character, his intensity, and it was like Dexter Unleashed. But it made me think, who would have won between Salinger and Dexter? Probably Dexter, because I'm sorry, I think Dexter would have just said fuck it and just gone kung fu his ass and killed him. Snuck up on it. And to see Salinger on that kill table would have been sweet. Put Salinger's own photos and stuff all over the place. This is what you like to do, right? Like to take pictures. Like Salinger's like, well, what do you do? Huh? I got my own little ritual. So I think that would have been. Let me know what you guys think, man. What do you think about this season? Do you think there was a good way to end off not only Jessica Jones but all of Marvel Netflix stuff? So that's it. It's pretty much gone. We're looking forward to what ABC or maybe Disney Plus does with Ghost Rider. Do you think Disney Plus should bring back these after the time lapses and it's contractually allowed? Do you think Disney Plus should bring these shows back? Let me know what you guys think, man. Put it in the box. Until next time, guys. Hey, Peace.